This is Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, preaching his word with true sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies a living sacrifice. We who are ready to live salute you. And I just want to go into the fact that that is prophecy that the people in the land of Israel would be imposters. Okay, it is prophecy that the land of Israel will be stolen by the heathen, man. All right, and particularly Idumea, okay, which Idumea is another word of saying Edom, okay. So the land of Israel would be stolen by the Edomites. It says it right here. I'll read it again. It's Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, right, which in the year 1948 is when the Balfour Declaration was implemented. All right, and they basically stole that land, and there was a 6-day war. Okay, I have appointed my land, and have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So they appointed the land into their own possession, man. All right. Okay. So that's prophecy, man. So the people in that land could not be the true Israelites, man. This is Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And that's what happened to the Israelites, man. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, showing you that in these latter days, the Israelites would be in slavery. They would be in captivity. And the people that would be in that land would be pretty much their captors. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right? Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Right now, we're in the time of the Gentiles. It shows you that in the vision of Daniel, when you go into the statue, it shows you all the kingdoms that are ruling before the kingdom of heaven, man. All right. Okay. You have the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greeks, and the Roman Empire. We're in the revised Roman Empire, man. Okay. We're in the the Neo-Roman Empire. Okay. So that goes to show you, man. All right. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much the that's the breakdown. All right. This is Amos 7:17. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and that's one of the curses that are to befall the Israelites, man. Okay, that's why we have Cardi B and all these famous whores, man. And our women are majority of them are sluts, man. And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land And that's what's happening to us, man. You just had that guy Offset get killed, man. Over 200 rappers in 1 year, man. You know, people are out here getting slaughtered because the curses are upon them, and the indignation of the Lord is upon our nation. And thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. All right, so our land has been divided, man. You know, you have pretty much the small hats, which are the Amalekites, the JEW ish people, all right, who own that land. They basically took it over, and you have the Palestinians and the Gaza Strip. Then you have all sorts of other heathens just running around there, you know. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. So Israel is prophesied to be in captivity in these last days. All right. That's why when the brothers asked Vocab Malone, what rulership are we in? You know, according to the vision of Daniel, he basically said, Apostle Tahar is the one that's ruling over you. He's the devil, man. He didn't want to admit it. But the Lord is returning to a earth that is going to be ruled by Edomites. Okay. All right. Let me grab the book of Obadiah. So the Lord is gonna destroy these heathen. This is Obadiah 1. This is Obadiah 1 and 8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? So the Lord has determined to destroy these Edomites for this. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one out of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, right? And it's historical fact that the JEW-ish people basically own those slave ships, man. And the slave auctioning blocks were closed on JEW-ish holidays, man. Okay. All right. So those were the people who put us in slavery. You can't be the slaves and the captured at the same time, man. Can't be the victor and the victim, man. I mean, the victim and the oppressor. You're either one or the other, and you fall under that oppressor ilk. And thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. And that's going back to the ancient Babylonian Empire, how they put us in captivity. The Edomites helped them then. They burned our temples. They helped capture us. And the scripture says, what is then is now. So it's the same thing now, man. But thou shouldest not have looked thou should not look on the day of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gates of my people. And that's what they did, man. They entered into our gates, and they're in our land right now. In the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. And what's evidence of that? You know, you just look at the Archetytus. Okay, the original Archetytus shows that these heathens, okay, basically were robbing our temples, man. So not only did you rob our land, you robbed our temples, and you even stole us, man. You even gathered us into captivity, man. Neither should have thou stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of his of distress. So yeah, you're gonna pay for that. It says, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, all you heathen nations, all right, that had put their hands on us, man. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So yeah, man, you know. So you've entered into our gates, man. You're gonna be found in our land and destroyed for doing so. Uh, okay. This is Zechariah 9:6. And the bastards, in fact, let me read up. This is Zechariah 9:5. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza shall see it and be very sorrowful. And Ekron for her expectation shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. So all these heathen nations are going to pay. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, right? And then you go into Ashdod, that's a seaport city in in uh in Israel, man. I believe it's in Tel Aviv. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, right? And the Lord has definitely done that to those Palestinians, man. You know, even though the real Philistines were Hamites, but they're in that land where the Philistines were. So, you know, and the Lord's cutting off their pride. So they're the Neo-Philistines, the Palestinians, because that's what the word Palestine means. And I will take away his blood out of his mouth and his abominations from between his teeth. But he that remaineth, even he shall be for our power, and he shall be as a governor in Judah, and Ekron as a Jebusite. So yeah, man. All right. And I will camp about my house because of the army, because of him that passeth by, and because of him that returneth, and no oppressor shall pass through them any more, for now have I seen with mine eyes. All right, so the oppressor is who's passing through the land right now. All right, but they're going to be destroyed out of that land. So prophecy tells you that the people in that land are not those people, man, because the scripture says, I will sift the house of Israel from all nations, man. The Lord is going to be the one to come retrieve his children and bring them back into that land. So it's not going to be a Balfour Declaration or anything like that. It's going to be the Lord returning and delivering his people from their oppressors, man, which are those Edomites, man, those small hats mainly, but all the rest of you heathens, man, you know. So, little quick lesson I wanted to do on that subject. Shalom.